So I fixed my workstation today, which I'll do a separate video on, because that actually will also be the follow-up to my direct attached storage project. And this is the old motherboard. It is a MSI Big Bang, which, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure how old it is. It will be about 7 or 8 years old, perhaps a bit older. And it's a nicely spec'd board. You don't often see them these days with quite so many PCIe slots, partly because of NVMe cards taking up that space, and also SLI isn't really, or Crossfire is not really a thing anymore, so I guess this is not really so needed. You can see actually that you can just about see, if I hold it there, that most of these are 8-time slots. The top one, that's a 16, and that one there in the middle, that's a 16 as well, and the rest are 8 times. You can see that just by the pins. So I had a bit of a military thing going on, obviously, with this board. This was running a workstation, so it's never seen the light of day, this board. But there you are, you can see there's sort of military shells, and I guess that looks a bit like a machine gun, I suppose. 64 gigs of DDR3 RAM, I can't remember what the speed of it is. It's obviously some Corsair Vengeance LPX, I would imagine, but I can't remember what speed. So yeah, it was a decent spec board. It's got a, let's see if I can, don't know if I can actually show you, but it's a Core i7 4960X, which was, I think it's 6 cores and 3.6 gigahertz with a boost clock of 4 gigahertz, so it's a decent spec chip when it was new. I think it was probably the fastest of its series actually. Oh, actually no, it's not quite true. There was a Xeon E5 1660 V2 that I think had a base clock of 3.7, but the same boost clock. Yeah, so this board is completely dead. It just doesn't do anything. How much of the hardware that's attached to it now, I don't know if that's dead. Everything that I reused in the system as it is now works perfectly. My suspicion is that both the RAM and the CPU will be fine, but there's obviously something up with this motherboard. I did a bit of a Google actually, and I'm not the first person to have this motherboard fail, so that is interesting. Rear I/O was pretty good for the day. Had a FireWire, which you don't see these days. So yeah, off to the big computing parts car park in the sky. Yeah, this will all be sent to e-waste at work because it doesn't belong to me, and I imagine they won't reuse any of it because it's too old. But yeah, okay. I'll see you in the next video, and at some point I'll show you the new workstation, which is pretty good. Alright.